Now, so you guys weren't here. We're up, this building we're not normally in. We're on the, 10th floor here?
Right. Yep.
So we're on the 10th floor, fairly high. Well, high enough to kill you. So I go, yesterday we're back in that corner office after you guys left, right? And I'm trying to look out the window to see if I could see the Hudson River from here. So I open up the window. A lot of times when you're in an office this side, the windows don't open. This one, you pop way open. And I looked out to see, and I noticed like there's a little walkway beneath us, like 4 or 5 feet, right?
Yeah.
So you're not 10 stories in the air the way you think. You're really only 4 or 5 feet away. So I start to lean out the window, and Fez and Earl are in there. And as I'm leaning out, they start to lean back the other way. Come on, man, don't. So, as I'm leaning out the window, I'm sitting on the windowsill, I start going, hey, guys, what if I fell? And then I started going, I'm falling. They start screaming because they think I'm 10 floors in the air. Fez runs at me and grabs my ankle, right?
It was the only thing I could get my hand on at the time.
As hard as he could. So I start to fall even further, like I'm heading out. And I'm just doing stuff like, I thought I was kidding, but now I'm really falling. I'm really falling, Fez. So while that happens, Earl runs behind him and grabs his waist. So we now have like some kind of fireman thing where they're working as one organism and they're trying to pull me back in. But all the time more, I'm forcing myself out the window going, I'm really falling this time. I'm no longer kidding. And then I would go like this, okay, I'm all right, I'm okay. And then they would like, but then I would head back out the window. No, now I am falling. I thought I would kid you. A second time, I'm falling 10 stories. And they're all holding on in this. And they're literally, and I'm going like, I'm going to drag us all to our death. Hold on, even if all of us fall, we fall together. I hate to say it, Fez was as white as a ghost. Earl was as white as he can be.
Sure.
And both of you guys are afraid of heights, right?
Totally.
I'm not, but that whole situation was just like...
You were... and literally the only reason why I stopped is my fucking leg was being dislocated from my pelvis. They were pulling so hard to try to shove me back in this that I might miss the game this Saturday night, the rock and roll softball team.
I was almost in tears while this was going on.
But as I'm even doing it, I look over, there's a cleaning lady in the other building just staring. Like, that place has got to be fucking retarded. And I'm really falling now. I thought I was kidding, Fez, but I am now falling.
And I'm just, please don't. And I got my hand around your ankle, and you're still going more towards the window, more out the window. And all I could think of is, I'm going to lose my grip on his ankle, or the shoe's going to pop off, and me and Earl are going to tumble backwards and lose Ronnie that way.
It was, and then after they sat back down, they literally both got in their chairs, and they were just exhausted, physically exhausted. And both of them looked like they were going to throw up.
Who do you think was trying to save you the most? Or was it a tie?
The fact that they teamworked, that they got some kind of a fireman brigade lined up where Earl was locked in around his waist, but Earl also had his eyes closed. So he's holding on as tight as he can with his eyes. And Fez was crying as he's holding on to me. And I'm doing everything to throw myself out the window. Just... I am now falling, yeah. I was kidding, but I'm going out now. And when I saw that cleaning woman just staring, like, what the fuck goes on over there?
Was anyone else in the office?
I could give a shit. Fucking Steve Kingston was here, and Crowded House.
Right.
Crowded House was being interviewed, right?
Yeah.
But I had the fucking perfect joke. I had to go with the bit.
That's funny.
And like afterwards, I'm like going, hey, look, that landing's right down there. They would not look. As I'm telling them it was all just fun, they still were in there. I can't believe I almost saw Ron die.
My hands all crimped up, just from trying to hold on to Ron. And when he was finally back in the office and it was done and he told us about the landing, it was such a good feeling. It was such a good feeling of relief, of where it's like, Ronnie's safe. All right, we can breathe again.
You weren't even slightly mad Nothing even bothered you?
Oh, no.
You weren't like, you prick, you did this to me? I used to do that with drowning when I would go out with buddies and say, like, I've never swam before, so this is really scary for me. And then I would, like, go in the pool, go right down to the bottom, right? And I would just hang at the bottom. And they would get underneath me and push me up so I could take a breath. And I would take my breath and then pull them back down. And we had this workout buddy. What was his name?
Dave Rock.
Dave Rock, where I would just, and he would push me to the side, and then I would just fall backwards and swim back down. And he had done it so many times that he got out of the pool and threw up. It was, I mean, because it's really exhausting.
Yeah, swimming's awful.
And you have that thing that those guys had that, like, I'm really, I'm not playing a game or a sport. I'm trying to save a life, so your adrenaline gets used up real fast. But I would always do a thing where when we would be in the ocean, I did this to Ronnie Diaz too. I'm like, this is fucking embarrassing because I can't swim. And he's like, and people are like so kind of like, buddy, I know anyone can learn to swim, Like, he's doing that. So I'd be like this, and then I would just start taking out so I would go way out, and I would just hear, too far, and he's swimming behind me, and then I would just do the dive straight down, and I'd go down about 12 feet, and he's pulling me, and, you're fighting the waves and shit, and, the guy thinks, I'm going to fucking lose this guy. I'm going to have to go back and tell his children, so they are fighting to save your life. And then when you tell them later how it's just joking, I can swim, they can't fit it into their head. They're like, I just wouldn't give up. I just kept trying.
Everyone wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
It's still real.
Yeah, it is. Because
It's still real to me, damn it.
you had a real experience. Everything that you were doing for yourself was real, but the other person's a prick who acts like they drowned or thrown themselves out a window. Why would anyone do it?
Before you told us about the walkway right below you there, it was like you were so far out that window.
At one point I was hanging all the way out.
Yeah,
and I still probably would have sprained my arm or something. It's still a 4-foot drop, but
you were over halfway out the window.
yes,
That's scary.
and they got 10 stories up.
Yes.
And I swear to God, I'm just talking as crazy as I could. Don't drop me. I know I was wrong to start the joke, but now I'm falling.
It's real.
I just wish there was a pool I could have drowned in.
I'm reliving it right now.
And what building in New York City lets you open the windows all the way like that where you can just jump out if you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Usually there's a lock on them or something. But, I mean, Fez, would you ever jump out the window to save yourself? I know you have a big fear of it.
I don't, you know what? I mean...
Yes, you would. Between that and burning?
Yeah, whatever. If there was a fire.
If there was a fire, I'm going to take my chances jumping.
Of course.
I don't want to burn.
I've always thought that you could jump out of a building as high as maybe 20 stories.
No, you can't. I think 5 stories. It's really rare that you can survive 5 stories.
What if you jumped out of the building and like almost like that you were doing the cannonball in a dive and you just wrap your legs around and try to land on your ass? I don't think you could be killed.
You
by
would
that.
break your fucking spine, and that's it. I mean, you shatter. The human body shatters after a certain point.
Well, that's like that guy.
I mean, people have done it. Like, you could hit like soft ground or whatever, hit some trees. You take your chances, but the odds are against you. And I think it's 5 stories up.
I think it is 5 stories. They had that kid the other day that went 6 stories and survived, but cheating, hitting things along the way to break the fall.
Right. I mean, look at Owen Hart. When he died, he fell into a ring, a mat. Boom, it's over quick.
That was like 75 feet.
And then that kid from the X Games the other day that fell like 50 feet. Like, you don't know how he was alive after he hit that ground.
That is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
And that was a broken back and bruised liver and punctured lung and everything else.
For some reason, the idiots let him get up and start walking.
The X Games.
And haven't people survived if their chute doesn't open in parachuting? Like, rarely someone will survive if they're 20,000 feet or whatever
you could hit mud or whatever. I mean, there's, gives. But there's a lot of people that have hit the water and were killed. You know what I mean? So you got to hit it properly. But, again, the chances of you making it, not all that well. Here's Jim. Jim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering if Earl and Fez were just trying to save their jobs.
That never ran through my mind. All I know is my friend was halfway out the window.
You never thought paycheck?
No, I never thought paycheck at any moment.
You never thought broken contract?
No. No, I did not.
See, I think Fez was genuine trying to save Mr. B, but then Earl kind of bandwagoned Fez's instincts.
But Earl's thing was, if Earl would have came running up and tried to grab my other leg or something, that's an instinct. But to go around Fez's waist at a pool looked so fucking ridiculous.
Like a Marx Brothers movie.
That I'm like, I can't believe I'm not videotaping this. This is the best thing ever.
And even once Ronnie was back in the window, Earl and I were still holding on to each other. We were still in the same embrace.
Sure.
Fucking gay.
They thought they were heroes.
We really did our best.
They were doing the whole, we did it, buddy. We did it. You maroons.
I don't know if it could have been more frightening if it was real.
No.
That's my problem.
Have you ever gone to like the Grand Canyon, or are you just totally afraid of everything?
The weird thing is, I know you're afraid of heights.
Mm-hmm.
When you're at the Grand Canyon, it is so high that it doesn't even feel like it's heights anymore.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I stood like right on the end of the Grand Canyon. Going, Jesus Christ, what is that? Like a mile?
Damn.
I don't think I could stand on the top of this building and do that, because you can get. But it's just like looking into space, like looking into the ocean. It doesn't. You don't even get the feeling of height. Like, you're not afraid of heights when you're in an airplane, right?
No.
It feels like an airplane. It feels like, well, this is just unbelievable.
Yeah. It's as long as I can keep my mind on being inside the airplane, that's fine. If I'm thinking about, this plane, if I was down on the ground looking up at the plane, that's when I would start to panic flying.
Do you think it's because the Grand Canyon's so beautiful you don't feel that way?
No, I think it is just so high that your mind can't focus on height.
I think it's like an optical illusion, because it's all orange rock and it's all the same. So it's like the floor could be any length.
You might as well be looking into the sky.
Yeah.
There's just nothing to gauge on anymore. I'm trying to think. There's no scale to it whatsoever. Where you're going to pick up a scale at like 15 or 20 feet. You're like, fuck! But you're at the top. And I swear, everyone does it.
Yeah.
You just see everyone hanging off at the Grand Canyon.
I did.
It just doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
Pat, you're on Ron and Fez. Oh, we lost it. He said 3 stories, 50-50 chance of dying, falling out 3 stories.
But see, aren't some stories taller than others? I mean, what's the exact feet measure?
I thought it was always 10 feet is a story, but I didn't know. There are some...
10 feet is a fable. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, boys? Just letting you know, it's 10 stories is the absolute certain death cutoff. If you do 10 stories, you're going. There's rare cases of 9 stories, but 10's guaranteed. From 10 to pavement, you're done.
All right, here is Sean. Sean, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, guys. I'm an EMT in Jersey.
Radio show.
The general guidelines is anything over 12 feet, which is double your height, is enough to kill you.
12 feet is enough.
It's considered a traumatic fall, yeah.
But I guess you could be running and fall in the fucking street and hit your head. And, you know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah.
You know, if you're not prepared for it, if you're taking it... I mean, we've all played basketball and heard that guy go down in gym class, and it's just full skull to floor.
Yeah.
And you figure out, okay, the head is just a melon. It's just that hollow, awful thing where everybody turns their back on the guy. Oh, you're holding your own head.
I jumped off my roof, though, and that was at least 15 feet.
Well, he's not saying you have to die.
Oh.
He's saying you can die.
Okay.
It actually can happen. Again, the worst thing that was going to happen to me is about a 4 or 5 foot drop. I would have sprayed an ankle and had a funny story. Here's our buddy Indy Mike. Hey, Indy Mike.